Think your company's data is safe just because you trust your IT vendor? Think again. When third-party contractors have access to your systems, your confidential business information could be at risk, and without the right contract provisions, you may have no legal protection. In this video, we'll show you how a simple oversight, like leaving out a confidentiality clause, can destroy your ability to enforce trade secret protections. If you're outsourcing services, this is a critical watch. Another type of contract that you might have is for services that you use. Now, this could be as simple as Google, Microsoft, Adobe for use of their software or software as a service. Or maybe you have a tech company come in and they help you with all of your tech needs because you've outsourced that. You don't want to have a full-time or part-time IT person on staff. Let's talk about that hypothetical. Let's say that you have an agreement that allows you 10 hours of IT support from a local tech company. That tech support company will come in from time to time and help with all of your computers. Here's one huge issue that most businesses don't attend to. They don't think about the fact that all of their business secrets are now available to a third party. Now you might say, but I don't care about that tech company. They have a great reputation. They're not going to share that information with anybody. But here's the problem. There is a very important law called the Trade Secrets Act, which says as long as you try to keep reasonably confidential information in your company, then ex-employees or others cannot share it without violating the Trade Secrets Act. But what happens if you don't try to make sure that you're keeping that information confidential with a confidentiality provision? In other words, let's say that one of your employees who didn't work out copies all of your data, leaves, and then goes and works at a competitor and shares all that data with them. Well, under the trade secrets law, you would say, hey, that employee just stole all of our secret data. That's ours. You can't use that. That is our competitive advantage data. We kept this secret. We didn't put it on our website. We didn't make it known to vendors. We didn't let customers see it. The only people who had access to it were employees. But remember that IT contractor? They also had access to it. So what happens is in this scenario, let's say you sue your competitor for using all of your secret ideas and all of your secret data and all that data on the hard drive that your employee took. The attorney representing that company will need to try to prove that you didn't make reasonable efforts to keep that information confidential. The attorney will try to show that you actually had outside parties you were contracting with, like an IT company, and you didn't even ask them to keep it confidential. You didn't put any provision in your contract that it should be confidential. This scenario is very similar to cases that have occurred around the country. So, if it's important for you to keep information on your hard drives and on your server and in your emails confidential, there are a couple things you need to do. One, make sure there's a confidentiality provision in any contract for someone who has access to your confidential information. And then second, make sure that you let employees know that needs to be kept confidential. Maybe you even label certain folders or files as confidential. The idea is the more you do to protect that confidentiality, the more evidence you'll have later to demonstrate that anyone who stole that information from you violated the Trade Secrets Act. So what's the takeaway here? Think about having a confidentiality provision in many of your contracts. You need to have it in all of the contracts where the other party would have access to information that you want to keep confidential. Now, if you'd like to know more about how to avoid trouble like this, I have a free resource at aaronhall.com/free. I provide information for business owners of small to mid-sized companies on how to avoid common legal problems. That includes a PDF. It includes videos talking about important issues. I'm Aaron Hall. I'm an attorney for business owners and entrepreneurial companies. If you'd like, subscribe to this channel so you can get more educational content like this.